Yo, guys, what is good? Welcome back to the Uncle Sharma channel. We are back with the Champions League, the champions. Our, I don't know, is it our favorite competition? I still have, obviously a bitter feeling after the Champions League final versus Man City last season, but you know, we definitely did ourselves proud. We put Inter back on the map. People know to respect this team in Europe for sure. And can we do it again? Can this Inter team go all the way again? Pep Guardiola yesterday talked about it in the press conference. Said, I was telling you guys, I had a feeling that this Inter team is a strong team, and he said, they beat Milan the other day in the Milan derby 5-1. So these guys can go. They are a contender to be finalists again. And I've always said it, even under Inzaghi's first season, even under Conte. I mean, under Conte, we used to struggle a little bit more, but definitely since Inzaghi's first season, it just depends. After the group stage, it just depends on who you get. And, you could call it luck or whatever you want to call it, fluke, that we ended up on that side of the draw last season where we had, Porto, Benfica, etc., etc. But there's the years where we end up in the group of death, which once again this year we've avoided, which is great. But I think, yeah, definitely Inter can go all the way or reach the final once again. It just depends on how, if first of all get out of the group, and afterwards we get out of the group. But first, now I'm starting to get more and more confident. Every year we're never fully convinced that Inter can make it out of the group, especially with the hard groups that we get. But this year, you can see Group D. We're not talking about the most difficult group. Finally, we're probably talking about one of the easier groups out there. Especially if you look at it here, I'm using Football Benchmark, who are a player valuation / analytics company. This is not transfer market value. This is their own algorithm system. I don't know how it works, but using their calculations, you can see Group D is probably the most balanced actually in terms of the top team, most valued team, which is us, Inter, followed by Sociedad, Benfica, and then RB Salzburg actually at around 200 million. You can see out of the worst teams, only Newcastle with 609. I mean, Newcastle are valued higher than Inter. Again, I don't know how this system values, so don't have a go at me. Have a go at these people. Maybe it's the amount of actual money spent. I don't know. But anyway, you can see in terms of that, it's the most balanced group compared to a lot of the other ones. I don't know how Arsenal are valued more than double of Inter, and Man United are valued more double than Inter as well. So I don't know. But anyway, those are the states of the group. It is interesting Champions League groups. They're nothing apart from the Milan's group. Actually, I'm just watching Milan now. Our cousins, they're kind of struggling. Well, not struggling. They're creating lots of chances against Newcastle, but they're not scoring, which is definitely exactly what Inter should not do tomorrow. It's facing Real Sociedad. So let's speak about them quickly. Real Sociedad, not a team to underestimate, to be honest, because again, they don't have heritage in this competition. That's for sure. But of course, they're here for a reason. They finished top 4 in La Liga last season. They've started okay this season in La Liga. They've played 5 games. They've only got 6 points, 3 draws, 1 win and 1 loss. So, but it's an historic, Champions League final for them. Group stage for them. They haven't been here for a while. They were in the Europa League last season, so they're going to be up for it. They're going to be up for it. So we definitely should not underestimate them. And I pulled up a couple of interesting stats to look at in terms of what type of team are they. So they are a team, obviously Spanish team, La Liga. The stereotype is nice football, and they do play nice football. I watched actually the game against Real Madrid just the other day. They gave Real Madrid a really, really good game. They lost in the end 2-1, but they gave him a good match. But they're not a team that holds possession for the sake of it. They're not a typical tiki-taka team. You can see here they're 7th in La Liga for possession, only around 52% possession, averaging in these first 6 games, 82 pass accuracy. So they're not, one of those teams that will pass to death. And they don't really create too many shots as well. They create around 12.8 shots per game. So there seems to be a balanced team. They can a bit of both, hold the ball, but they also have got, you know, a bit of direct verticality as well. And they can get stuck in. You can see the stat below. The fouls, you can see they're ranked second in La Liga for fouls after Cadiz, 18.4 fouls per game. So yeah, I'm expecting a stop and start game tomorrow, 8 p.m. of course, kickoff time, San Sebastian in Spain, kickoff time for Inter away, first game. So they're going to make it difficult. They've got quite a nice crowd as well, one of the most loyal. I was watching a Rabona TV video earlier, and apparently in terms of percentage of people that live in Sociedad, in the area, and the amount of people that actually turn up to the stadium, it's one of the highest percentages in La Liga. So it's a small fan base, but with the very vocal and very passionate. So they're going to make life difficult for us. And you can see there 14.6 tackles as well per game, 7.4 interceptions. So it's a team that gets stuck in. But they do allow around 11 or 12 shots per game as well. So, we Inter are going to get some joy at the back. They're not, watertight at the back for sure. Who's the man to watch out? I think if you live under a rock or if you don't follow La Liga at all, you might not have heard of Takefusa Kubo. He is the guy to watch out for. One of those players that you just love to watch. I mean, he's definitely one of my types of players. He a dribbler. You can see there, according to Y Scout this season, 6 dribbles per 90 with a 64% success rate. That is really, really good. And he's actually a former Real Madrid player. Came up through the ranks, but he never actually played for them. He was always been loaned out. Mallorca, Villarreal, Getafe, and Mallorca again. And now he's finally found his permanent home in Sociedad, and he's finding his feet. He's still finding a final. A lot of these tricky wingers. What's your final product? And he's finally finding it now. 3 goals, 1 assist already this season, and he already started to add goals last season. Really, really exciting player. And against Real Madrid, he was the real threat. He is the main threat, in my opinion. I have not watched too many games of them. The Real Madrid game was the first full game I watched of Real Sociedad this season. I don't think I watched any games of theirs last season as well. So I'm not an expert when it comes to Sociedad. So I welcome any comments down below. Let me know if you've watched more Real Sociedad. Let me know down in the comments down below. Formation players. This is their last formation. Actually, they played the same formation the last 2 games. So this is what they played against Real Madrid. A 4-3-3. And you can see I've put the average positions in their last game as well against Real Madrid. It kind of turns into like a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-2-4 in terms of their pressing system. And, when they attack, Mendes is the one with the license to go up and attack a little bit more compared to Zubimendi and Merino. Players to watch, again, as I said, Kubo on the right-hand side, really, really exciting player. Zubimendi in midfield, number 4. I really like him. If we ever sold Hakan or Aslani in terms of replacement of a Regista, even though his release clause is apparently around 50 million pounds, not euros, so about 60 million euros. So we probably can't touch him. But if that conversation ever came up, Zubimendi is one of those names that I really like. Very nice, technical, clean player. Typical Spanish player, but he's got a bit of physicality to him as well. He's not just, on the ball. He's decent off the ball as well. Kieran Tierney, want to watch just because it's a weird loan move from Arsenal. A Scottish guy ended up in La Liga, so that one is an interesting one. Zabal, as you can see, he's a winger, but he's playing as like a false 9. You can see in the average position how deep he comes. So that's one thing where they're good. They're good at holding the ball in midfield. They're good at creating overloads, but there's not much going in behind or a real striker threat. So life a little bit easier in terms of for that Inter, but actually at the same time, we know Inter, our centre backs, Acerbi, De Vrij, Darmian, they struggle when they have it being dragged out of position. There's not going to be a real reference point. So that's the problem when you play against these formations. Whereas I think actually our centre backs, a bit more old school, especially Acerbi, De Vrij, they like to have that reference point. That's why we do really well against, Haaland or, Osimhen. Like, historically our centre backs do really well against these top strikers, Giroud, or maybe not so much De Vrij, but you know what I mean. So this could give us some issues because it's all about those midfielders making those run into the box, which is hard to follow. And this is where Real Madrid had a lot of issues just the other day. So again, here, who is on the ball? Kubo. He was the one creating all the danger. This is how they scored in the 4th, 5th minute of the game. This is, who was it, number 7? Barrenechea, the winger, comes inside, makes this run. No one's picking him up. Should be Tchouaméni or Valverde, or it looks like Tchouaméni there. Number 18, who's not following his runner. Kubo with a great ball in behind, and he scores. Barrenechea here. He actually, Kepa makes a good save, and then he scores off the 2nd attempt. So again, here, Kubo might not. He doesn't need to get past you to be a threat. Like I know, if it's about 1v1, we're happy. If it's Darmian playing there or Bastoni playing on the left hand side, Di Marco, we're not too scared. But even if you don't let him go past you, he can create this danger. Like here, like a bit like Suso used to do back in the days in the Banter era derbies. And here he actually scores. Kubo comes inside again. He doesn't actually need to go past anyone. He actually just cuts inside again. A bit Suso-like there. I don't know why I'm just mentioning Suso all of a sudden so much, but it just reminded me of him. And he scores here, but the goal was chopped off because one of the guys was, I think Oyarzabal was offside, and he kind of interfered with play. But an amazing goal that was cancelled. Again, Kubo, big threat. But on the back, as I said, they are susceptible. Real Madrid just kept pumping the ball. They were playing a lot of crossing, inshallah, and it kind of worked, especially where they have Joselu up front, and now we've got Lautaro, Thuram, Di Marco, and if Dumfries plays, because it looks like Cuadrado's injured, they should be trying to use this because Lenormand and who's the other centre back, Zubeldia, they're okay. They're decent centre backs, but not elite, and they can be susceptible at the back. So this is definitely, I would like to see Di Marco or Augusto, whoever starts tomorrow, to be making use of this, because they don't have much width as well. So I think that our wing backs will get a lot of joy. And yeah, let's finish up with Inter. The predicted lineup for tomorrow from Sky Sport Italia, just a couple of minutes ago, posted by Daniele Mari. So it looks pretty reliable. So if you don't know, Hakan Çalhanoğlu is out of this game. He's not going to travel with the team. He's got a bit of a fatigued muscle. So Aslani time. Let's see. I mean, I'll believe it. I'll believe it when I see Aslani on the pitch tomorrow. But the predicted lineups have him, and Inzaghi did speak about Aslani in his press conference today. I've picked out, copy and pasted it from Sempre into here. If you see right at the top, they asked him, is going to be Aslani. He says, yeah, he's ready to play tomorrow. He's already played in big matches, but I'll make my decisions on whether or not he starts tomorrow after the initial warm-ups, Inzaghi said. So I'll see. I mean, there was a Gazzetta even said that Mkhitaryan might start as the regista. So I'll believe it when I see it. But it should be in Aslani's time tomorrow, surely. This is, he is the backup to Hakan. Inzaghi said at the beginning of the season. To me, he is ready to step in. Yes, maybe we have doubts about him off the ball, decision-making, but this is how he's going to improve. Yes, it's an acid test putting him on. First Champions League game of the season away in Spain. But I want to see him start, and I hope he starts, and I think he will do good. Apart from that, no rotation, which is surprising. I was seeing lineups with potentially De Vrij coming back in, because I think that makes sense. Acerbi playing back-to-back game, just coming after injury. I don't know. I would have liked to see Pavard starting for sure. For sure, I would have liked to see Pavard starting, but again, looks like Matty Dams. Maybe the Empoli game, I guess. I think the Empoli game maybe becomes the ideal game to start the rotations. I was expecting some rotations already in this game, but looks like it won't be. But Empoli away, and now Empoli have also changed their coach today. They fired Zanetti. Andreazzoli comes back, so I don't even know now if that's ideal, because now it looks like ideal place where Inter will drop points now, because it will be that new manager bounce for Empoli. So I would like to see a little bit more rotation there. I wouldn't mind to see Frattesi be starting here. As we said, to rest Barella a little bit, start Frattesi. But, because we are starting a Asllani midfield, I guess now it makes sense to keep Barella and Mkhitaryan in there to keep that continuity. Dumfries is a given because of Cuadrado's injury, and Di Marco. Yeah, this one I wouldn't mind to see Carlos Augusto starting here, but again, maybe the Empoli game is best. And up front, I wouldn't mind to see Arnautovic being given a start. I think he is ready for a start as well. He's had some good sub appearances, but again, not against this lineup. The players are not tired right now. It's early on in the season. The rotations will come in, so just be patient. Now, apart from that, Inzaghi talked about, he's watching Real Sociedad. He was impressed with them against the Real Madrid. Spoke positively about us in the Champions League. Lautaro also said, yes, we can also get to the final, even though it's too early to talk about it. So, yeah, nothing really to talk about from the press conference of Inzaghi and Lautaro. Just tomorrow, a win. That's all we need. Perfect way to start would be a win, 3 points. Although, I'm going to say it's not the end of the world if Inter go to Sociedad and draw away. An away draw is never the end of the world in Champions League. But, I think we can get a win tomorrow. We should get a win tomorrow. And my prediction with that lineup is to Inter to get a narrow win. I don't think it's going to be a wash away. I think it's going to be like a narrow 1-0 or 2-1 victory away. Continuing with our solidness at the back and attacking them in transition as we have been doing. Predicting them to have around 55% possession, more. It's a little bit more than Inter, into punishing them in transition as we have been doing. And Lautaro to get a goal if he starts, and then maybe another Frattesi one from the bench. Who knows? You guys let me know down in the comments down below what you make of it, of the preview. Who else is to watch out? Did I focus too much on Kubo? Is there other players to talk about from Sociedad? Let me know in the comments down below. Drop your predictions down below as well, of course. Leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. See you tomorrow for the post-match reaction. Ciao ragazzi. Always, Forza Inter.